a little bit more room. Hey, thumb on the football! Big man scrambling!
Action pass to him. He fires to the top. One-handed catch.
Buchanan Simons is open. Breaks the tackle. This is going to be a 70-yard touchdown. Buchanan Simons. Over the top, and that might be the most impressive interception all day. What a shoot!
Breaking through the tackle.
Oh no!
What a ridiculous sequence of events.
He's got Heath McDaniel Jr. inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Carolina.
The kick is blocked from Zuderveld. It's loose.
How? What?
And welcome to Sim Football Pregame, along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. Welcome into the SFL studios for a great day of football action. So nice to have football back all around the country, huh, Mike?
Yeah, Cam, it's great to have football back as, the college game is getting going this weekend. They had a few games last weekend, but yeah, it's great to see the college football back on the scene. And we've already gotten this weekend kicked off in the SFL as well. I mean, so, we've got a great slate for the remainder of the weekend and today, and it's great to get it kicked off early, as you mentioned.
We've already had 2 games in the SFL this week. One went to overtime, and the Simulation Football League is in Week 7. We'll talk about those results at halftime. But for now, Mike, it's time to focus on our spotlight games this week. On Next Level Sports, you will see 2-4 Lone Star battle 2-4 Fort Worth, the battle over DFW, and boy, do both those teams need a win in the South Division. Arizona 3-3 leads the West. They'll take on Pacific leading LA 5-1. That game will start on the SFL Twitch, but you'll see a majority of the second half of that game is bonus coverage on Next Level Sports. A great block here, Mike, for our NXT audience.
Yeah, Cam, as you just mentioned, this is a huge game for both of these teams. They've struggled coming out of the gate. Both are 2-4 coming into this game, and both are coming off of losses last week. And Cam, both of these offenses have kind of struggled coming out of the gate as well. Even though Lone Star in the past week or so, they have kind of picked it up. We've seen wide receiver Dave Axis get more involved. He's had maybe about 3 touchdowns under his belt in the last couple of weeks. We've also seen, the battering ram running back Ike McBride getting more involved in the offense. And so Lone Star have kind of, gotten things going offensively for Fort Worth. They want to get Jason Williams running back involved. He's 4th in the league in rushing right now. But the big question mark for Fort Worth is quarterback Cam Curtis. I mean, he's at the bottom of the league in passing yards. They're going to have to get him going to diversify that offense and, take someone else's attention out of the box and keying on Jason Williams. And defensively for both teams, Jay Mart, he's leading the league in tackles coming into this week. And E.K. Vincent on the other side for Fort Worth, he's great in the linebacker spot, as well as that great secondary led by Aiden Davis over there in Fort Worth. So we went for a hard-nosed defensive battle, and I can't wait to see this battle down in Texas.
J. Mark continues to impress in his second season. Great free agency pickup by Lone Star. Hubba Kimbrell in the chat says 31-20 his final score prediction, but then he can't say who wins. But if you want to join that chatter, twitch.tv/FTFnext, or you can just watch from your humble couch and kick back on Next Level Sports and enjoy all the football action. Lone Star Fort Worth comes up next. Tyler Falk and Michael Torillo have the call from the Lone Star State. This has been Sim Football Pregame presented by APM Music, and we'll see you back here at the half.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Well, they say everything is bigger in Texas, including the football and especially the rivalries. It's time for Simulation Football League action on Next Level Sports as the Fort Worth Toros host the Lone Star Glory. And with these two rivals separated by just 37 miles down I-35. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Trurillo, alongside Justin Reside on stats and Tanner Falk in the broadcast booth with me. I'm ready to guide you through this Saturday afternoon of action. Tyler, it is good to hear your voice again and be back on the call with you for another SFL game. First time since the convention.
Absolutely, Torillo. I am glad to be back in the booth with you, and I got a bold prediction. Whoever loses today will not make the playoffs. Fort Worth coming in with two of the better victories between the two teams, being Florida and Charleston, both teams at or above 500. Meanwhile, Lone Star only has two victories under their belt as well, and both those teams, Carolina and Sioux Falls, are below 500. So what team are we going to see from Fort Worth, especially their offense here, Terrell? Are we going to see a much more composed and confident offense that's able to put more than 3 points up on the board? Or are we going to see their defense try and lead the way yet again? For Lone Star, though, I've been really impressed with how efficient the receivers have been. Not too many drop passes, lots of consistency from their offense. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do today with a nice balanced attack.
Both teams at 2-4, but Fort Worth has the best strength of schedule and strength of victory in the entire league. Lone Star way down the charts on both of those. It's all blue for the Fort Worth Toros at home. Red, white, red for the Lone Star Glory. Taco Sicario, kick it! We're underway on Next Level Sports. From inside the 10, up past the 20 and up to the 25-yard line comes the return. Here's the Lone Star Glory offense led by quarterback Ace Fennick, Ike McBride, and Sudo Nakai in the backfield. Greg Soto, Deuce Fennick, and Dave Axis out wide. Adam Williams, Ziggy Heronic at tight end, and Rylan Caudill at guard protecting the backside of Ace. First and 10 for the 25, split backs, no wide receivers. It's going to be strong handoff right up the middle, and Ike McBride powers her way for 5 yards. Here's the Fort Worth starting defense. Defensive line, Jeff Duffy, Gary Marks, Joey Schwint. Linebackers, David Horrell, J.L. Browning, and E.K. Vincent. Corners, Adam Leach and Aiden Davis. Safeties, Blake Prine, Marquise Reed, and Delaney Nash. Here's second down and 5 after the run by McBride. This time the Glory go with 3 wide. Gonna airing it out is Ace Fennick, and that one is knocked away. Excellent coverage on the outside by Adam Leach.
And there's that fantastic pass defense showing up for Fort Worth. One of the league's best in terms of passing yards against. Fourth, to be specific, only allowing about 240 yards through the air. And not a whole lot of passing touchdowns allowed either. Third best in that category as well.
They may have lost 20-3 last week against Los Angeles, but Adam Leach had a fantastic game. 6 tackles out of the secondary. Third down and 5, a sack, and fumbling the football. A lineman picks it up. That's Rylan Caudill, and he will be down all the way back at the 18-yard line as the opening drive of the game for Lone Star goes pear-shaped.
Very nice defensive pressure from Joey Schwinn. Comes up with a strip sack and forces the 4th down. And Fort Worth gets the ball rolling here early, able to force a quick 3 and out.
I was about to fire up the vocal cords with the big man scrambling, but it went the other way as William Zuderfeld is on to punt the football. Caught near the 40-yard line, and Fort Worth will start their opening drive at near midfield. The Toros have never beaten the Lone Star Glory, 0-3 in 3 attempts since season 15.
And what a way to do it, just to put a statement win on their arch rivals from Denton, Texas, and able to maybe save their season with a victory here today with a crucial win over Lone Star.
I'll get to the lineups after this opening play. Cameron Curtis is the quarterback. He's got a single receiver each side. It's going to be a handoff, strong side right. Try to stretch it to the pylon. And a 4-yard pickup past the 50 for Jason Williams. Here's the Fort Worth starting offense. Cameron Curtis under center. Jason Williams, the running back. Aaron Alexander, the fullback. Cade Stevens and Stephen Hacker are a dangerous wide receiver combo. Robert Garrett Jr. and Lauren Percoco, the tight ends. And Johnny Van Man is the guard on the backside. I formation single right for Fort Worth on second down. Taking off and running is Cameron Curtis. It'll slide down with plenty of room to spare and moves the chains for the Toros.
Very smart play from Cameron Curtis. Had 4 interceptions a week ago. This time was smart with the football and just took off and got the first down.
Fort Worth only scored 3 points last week in a loss to the West leading Los Angeles. Or Pacific, leading Los Angeles. Here's offset I. Strong side right, running behind the fullback is Jason Williams, but he will be wrangled down by Albert Begin. And it'll be 2nd and 6. Here's the Lone Star Glory starting offense. Jukin Rukin, Yogi Bar, Bobo Caudil and Tina Begin on the defensive line. Freddie Trammell and Jay Mart at linebacker. Mickey McGuire and Bo Martin Jr. at corner. Evan Lacey, Albert Begin, who just made that tackle, and Nate Hall are at safety. Curtis looks to throw. Late receiver open and dropped on the outside, and you don't see Stephen Hacker drop many of those.
Well, I have to disagree with you there, Torillo. On the season, he was 40 catches on 60 attempts, and this is the league's worst leading team in terms of catches in comparison to how many attempts they're thrown, with 66% of the time a receiver of Fort Worth has been throwing the ball. About 66% of the time they catch it, the rest they drop it, which is 10% below the league average.
They'll choose to run on 3rd and 6, and Jason Williams gets nowhere. He got 1 block, but he was crunched in the hole, and it will be 4th down and 5. On that stat where Fort Worth has the lowest completion percentage in the league, is that on quarterback Cameron Curtis, or is that on his receivers?
Well, that stat in general there, Torillo, is just the receivers. I excluded the quarterbacks. So that stat right there, just in terms of targets. So if the quarterback throws it away, that stat's been removed. So it's just the wide receivers. So that stat right there. And then again, Curtis has the league's worst completion percentage as well. So it may be a little bit of both. But again, he's had to come up with a couple of tough defenses so far this season as well.
Fort Worth only scoring 15.8 points per game. That's second to last in the league and has the lowest pass yards per game at 186. Lone Star back on the field. They'll start at their own 16-yard line after the punt by Rain Einhorn was fair caught. Up the middle, McBride carries a defender for 8 yards, and it looks like we're going to get a running battle today between McBride and Jason Williams.
Absolutely. Williams and McBride, 2 of the best backs in the league, both in the top 10 in rushing yards coming into today. And Torillo, Ike McBride just needs a little bit more oomph to get going. She's been good, just needs to maybe cross the goal line a couple of times in order to get her stats up.
Here's McBride again, looking for an opening, going to get close to a first down and forward progress. Says she did get there.
Yeah, that's one thing there, Torillo, that I really like about #ILikeGuy is who she likes to drive like a bull. She's just going to pound through defenders, pound through her offensive line, and pick up those tough yards.
1st and 10, back to pass Fedek. Gonna go to the corner, and it's almost gonna be picked off by E.K. Vincent. 8 seasons in the league for Vincent, and he knocks that one down 2nd and 10. I don't expect a lot of completed passes today because the Fort Worth pass defense is fantastic.
I agree with you 100%, and Vincent showing his veteranosity, just reading the sophomore quarterback's eyes and getting to the football.
Now 2nd and 10, offset I single right. 4 in the front for Fort Worth. It's going to be a weak side pitch. Blockers in front of McBride, and she will get only 3 yards up to the 29-yard line, making a 3rd and 7.
Great coverage again by Fort Worth's defense. Yeah, it had to do a little hat count there. Only 2 linemen come out to try and create the screenplay for McBride. There was 4 defenders in coverage on that side of the football. Great play by Fort Worth. 3rd down.
Empty set. Quick slant over the middle, and that one is again almost intercepted. J.L. Browning this time, the other linebacker. So 2 potential picks by the Lone Star linebackers go begging, and it is 4th down, and out comes punter William Zuderfeld.
Fennec really had to get rid of that football rather quickly as he just had a man in his face, and luckily for him, Harrell wasn't able to come away with the pick, and so again, another 3 and out for Lone Star. Or excuse me, not 3 and out, but pretty quick drive for Lone Star.
3 drives, 3 punts, 2 by Lone Star, 1 by Fort Worth here in the opening quarter. Glad you could be with us on Next Level Sports and FTF next time. Michael Torillo, Tyler Falk is alongside me. Cade Stevens returns that punt up to the 38-yard line, and that's where Fort Worth will begin their next possession. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. We put the fan in fantasy. Swung to the far side for Williams. Not a lot of room to run. He'll be wrestled down by Jay Mart. Only his 2nd season in the league. 1st season with the Lone Star Glory. Spent his rookie year with the Jacksonville Kings.
Yeah, and Mike St. Greek touched on it a bit at the pregame show, but Jay Mart has been having an excellent season, leading the league in tackles. He had 69 coming into the game, now wraps up number 70.
Curtis to the air after a no-step drop and finds the receiver running free in the middle. That'll move the chains into Lone Star territory. Lauren Percoco comes up and makes the grab. Only had 1 catch last week against Los Angeles.
And hopefully this isn't just her one and only catch this time around, Cirillo, as I like what Fort Worth is doing, trying to get quick passes, not have Cameron Curtis stay back there too long in the pocket, just able to make the quick, easy read and find Lauren Percoco this time around for a good 1st down.
Out of the eye, right up the middle. Williams gets a block, spins away from a potential tackler, and gets close to the 30-yard line before he is brought down. And Jason Williams stretching his legs a little bit in the early going.
And if they're not going to burn you on those quick, little passing routes, they'll just give it to their workhorse or their work bull. If you work Toro, maybe is probably a better term for Jason Williams, as he's just able to, again, come time and time again. He's been very reliable this season. 4th in yards with 677 coming into the ballgame.
And a 4.8 yards per carry, 3 rushing touchdowns for Williams on the season. Another I formation handoff. This time the defense is all over it, but somehow Cameron Curtis keeps the football and scampers for 8 yards. That's the 2nd run of the ball game for Curtis. He's all over the place today.
And that was a little bit of a broken play. Albert Begin, the safety, came down from his safety spot, tried to get to Jason Williams in the backfield, and Cameron just pulls the football away and then just scrambles behind his lineman for a good pickup of 8 yards.
I thought for sure that ball was going to be handed off to Jason Williams. The play was going to go nowhere, but it almost looked like an unintentional read option. This time Williams does get the football. He's going to power forward. He's not going to get the 1st down, though. Tina Begin, defensive tackle, came up and made the stop. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Tina Begin and Yogi Bark combined to just stop Williams short of the line to gain. That's not something we see often from Jason Williams, being stopped up short, but credit Lone Star's defense. Now a big play here on 3rd and inches. Can they hold him to maybe just a field goal?
It's going to be a handoff to Williams. He's got a convoy of blockers in front of him, and he's going to pick up the 1st down up to the 16-yard line into the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone for the first time today as the clock ticks down under 3 minutes to go in the 1st.
And I like how everyone on Fort Worth just set in and got to work, especially blocking. I liked how Aaron Alexander came around the lineman to set the edge. Unfortunately, Williams just cut to the inside, got tackled.
Little pass over the middle. That one is caught. 9-yard pickup to the 8. That's Percoco again, and she's already doubled her receptions from a week ago.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Drill. A nice little all slants play where Curtis was just able to slot it in a very tight window to find Percoco.
That's a risky throw by Curtis, basically into triple coverage, trusting his tight end to bring down the football. Here's that power set again, but they got the first down on 3rd and short last time. On 2nd and short, Williams tripped up, but he does fall forward for the first down.
Nice, solid drive for the Toros. That will be the 8th play of the drive for them, and they convert on another first down, setting up with 1st and goal. I'd go right back to Jason Williams and try and run it up the gut.
1st and goal from the 6. Under 2 minutes to go, first quarter. A quick moving first quarter, I might add as well. It is going to be Williams. He should have tried and stretched the play to the left, and the Glory defense was all over it.
And look who it is, J. Mart with his 2nd tackle of the ball game, reading the offense perfectly. I mean, I called it out. It looked like it was going to probably be a run up the gut, and J. Mart saw it too. Way to cover the gaps and fill in the holes.
Round of applause on that play as well to Freddie Trammell, who was with Mart on the tackle. 2nd and goal, off tackle run. Williams with only one man to beat, and he decides to try and spin, and an excellent touchdown saving tackle by Evan Lacey.
Huge tackle by Evan Lacey. Was not fooled, was not put into the spin cycle. That's a heck of a play from the 2nd-year safety.
Now 3rd and goal. It looks like they're going to continue to trust their running back. Williams trying to pick his way through to the end zone, and he's going to be 2 yards short. Again, the Lone Star defense gets back there, and McGuire makes the stop.
Yeah, credit goes out to Elder Begin. Missed the tackle on Williams a few plays ago, but credit Begin and the wisest man of the SFL, Gunny, for making the huge play and just stalling Fort Worth's defense. And on comes the thickest kicker in the SFL, Taco Sicario.
Sicario on the season, 13 of 15, but this is basically an extra point. It's up, it's good. Fort Worth takes a 3-0 lead, but Lone Star holds inside the red zone to force a Fort Worth field goal.
And shout out to Justin Reside, keeping us on our toes, making us sound smarter than we actually are. 12-play, 56-yard drive, culminating in that 19-yard field goal by Sicario. And I think what really helped out there, Torillo, was a nice, consistent rushing attack from not just Jason Williams, we saw Cameron Curtis run a few times last drive, too.
Kick all the way from Sicario, fielded at the goal line. That's Deuce Fennick running the ball back for the Glory. He'll get up to the 26. Lone Star has looked a little bit lost. Apologies, Tyler, on offense to start the game. And with only 14 seconds to go in the first quarter, let's see if they can get something going heading into the second. They'll start with 3 receivers bunched to the left. They're going to go to the single on the top side as Greg Soto hauls in a catch. Ball thrown a little bit behind him, but that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. A defensive battle in the Lone Star State so far as Lone Star trails Fort Worth 3-0. We'll be back after this. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Live from the Stockyard Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas, the Fort Worth Toros lead the Lone Star Glory 3-0. We start the second quarter. My name is Michael Torillo. Tyler Falk is alongside me. Justin Reside is on stats. Second down and 9. Over the middle and incomplete. I thought a one-handed catch was going to be made by Deuce Fennick, but the hit knocked it out of his hands by David Horrell, and it's 3rd and 9.
No ace to deuce connection. The Fennick brothers can't haul it in, and that's just a huge hit laid on him by David Harrell and by J.L. Browning.
And in our ear is Cabot Irvine, Director, Commissioner, Master of Ceremonies. And Mike St. Green is also with him in studio. You will hear them at halftime. 3rd down and 9. Lone Star looking to continue their drive. Haven't gotten much on offense so far today. 4 wide for Fennick. He's going to come short of the sticks, and the pass won't even make it to its assigned target as Blake Prime knocks the ball out of the air.
Just insufferable. Just nothing doing through the air. This Fort Worth defense will make you work for every inch of this field today. Great play from Blake Prime.
Fort Worth's defense, one of the best in the league. They give up only 240 passing yards a game. That's good for 4th in the SFL. And right now, the Lone Star Glory are feeling the sting of that Fort Worth defense. It's going to be a fair catch by Cade Stevens and decent field position for Fort Worth as they'll start from their own 35.
Now Fort Worth with an excellent drive last time out, culminating with a very short field goal. Can they put more points up on the board, as any more points would be better than last week's total of just 3 last week?
And they started from around this point of the field, too. 56-yard on 12 plays for that field goal make. Play action. Underneath, the receiver is open. It's Lauren Percoco. Her 3rd catch of the game so far sets up Fort Worth in Lone Star territory.
And maybe a change in the playbook from last week is they're trying to get these tight ends more involved. Percoco, like you mentioned there, Torillo, 3rd reception of the ball game. That's leaps and bounds more than she got a week ago. Can they keep this up? Can Curtis continue to find the open receiver, having an excellent day through the air?
In fact, Lauren Percoco has the only 3 receptions for the Fort Worth Toros team so far. Jason Williams has been the bell cow from the running back position so far. He'll get the carry on 1st and 10, break a tackle in the backfield, but cannot escape the wave of red and white coming his way downhill. 2nd down and 9.
And say hello to Daniel Daly, one of the reserved linebackers, making a big tackle, just helping out the defense wherever he can, and credits Williams to a very short gain.
Just under 10 minutes to go here in the first half, and another short run for only a yard, this time off the right-hand side by Williams. Jay Mart again involved, along with Albert Begin.
And this rush defense is only allowing 89 yards a game for the Glory. It makes them 13th in the league coming into today. Right now, just playing Jason Williams to perfection at the moment.
Empty set with Curtis under center, and it's going to be a free play. Curtis going to go underneath. That pass complete to Robert Garrett Jr., and it's not a 1st down, so Fort Worth will take the penalty. So instead of 3rd and 8, it'll be 3rd and 3.
I was going to say, who were they going to tag with that? I'm trying to figure it out, but it's Yogi Barr in his 3rd season with this Lone Star franchise, trying to get a little bit of a head start, trying to add on to his 2 tackles for loss so far this season.
A little bit too overeager there. And so now 3rd and 3. This could be potentially Jason Williams' territory, but it will be a toss out to the fullback. Here's Aaron Alexander in space, tries to make a spin move at the 20-yard line, and will be pulled down right there. How about a 5'8", 250-pound fullback trying to spin away in open space?
Yeah, the rookie out of Lexington tried to emulate Jason Williams a little bit there with the spin move, but Evan Lacey was having none of it. But that's Alexander's 9th reception on the season. And again, I'm really liking what Cameron Curtis has been able to do so far. He's not forcing anything or not trying to force anything here early and just finding the open receiver.
I do hope he's not trying to emulate Jason Williams. I hope he's trying to emulate him. Curtis on the run, throws underneath. There's Robert Garrett Jr., first down and goal inside the 10.
Look at that, another tight end catch. Make that 5 unofficial, 4 official, because remember, one of the receptions was negated via the way of a penalty. But Robert Garrett Jr., a nice little out route, creates a little bit of separation from Nate Hall and just turns the corner, makes the first down. Another good drive from Fort Worth.
Robert Garrett Jr. second on this Fort Worth team in yards per catch with 12.9. First is Lauren Percoco at 13.5. We've seen her get involved multiple times. Second trip to the red zone for Fort Worth. Let's see if they can cash in this time. We're held to a field goal at the 2 on their first trip, and Jason Williams cannot get anything off the right-hand side. Second and goal from the 6.
Yeah, and credit Yogi Barr with just slowing down Williams in order for Daly to go and get the tackle onto Jason Williams. It's just a whole team effort. Every man on the bus, every man grabbing a hammer and starting to work.
Curtis to the air, to the goal line. Back to the end zone is Garrett Jr., and he can't turn the corner. Third and goal at the 2. A little bit of deja vu happening now, as this is what happened on Fort Worth, his last drive, and Lone Star held him to a field goal.
Play it maybe a little bit too safe, but still moving the ball forward is Fort Worth. Can they punch it in? Tight end flex to the left.
High formation. Curtis the snap, hands to Williams right up the middle, tries to spin his way to the goal line, and he does! Touchdown, Fort Worth!
There we
Touchdown,
go.
number 4 on the season for Jason Williams. Apologies, Tyler.
All good there, Torello, as Williams again is just one of the hard-nosed runners. Nice power back for Fort Worth and just punches it in for short. They did what they couldn't do on the first drive.
Fort Worth up by 2 scores. Remember, the Toros have never beaten the Lone Star Glory, 0-3 since the Toros were granted a franchise back in season 15. Sicario up and good, and with 6 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the first half, Fort Worth Toros 10, Lone Star Glory nothing. The Glory try to find some offense when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Jason Williams' fourth touchdown run of the season is just a 2-yarder, but it is enough to give the Fort Worth Toros a 10-0 lead over their rival, the Lone Star Glory, from just 37 miles up the road in Denton, Texas. Oh, look out! Almost breaking free on the return was Deuce Fennick. He was dragged down by Lauren Percoco on special teams. She's everywhere today.
Absolutely, making the reception and bringing down a speedy Deuce Fennick as maybe that's a spark that gets the Lone Star Glory offense going, as Ace Fennick coming into the drive is only 2 of 7. Need to be a little bit more consistent passing the ball, but it can't be helped that this Fort Worth defense is just too good.
Ike McBride on a dive up the middle for 3 yards, and that's the other thing. If you can't go to the pass, you got to go with the run, and McBride has been held to just 17 yards.
Got a couple more on now 5 attempts here so far, maybe 4 attempts on 18 yards, or 17 yards, but they need to get her more involved. Maybe start off with a couple more runs like we saw there, then go to the air.
They got 3 wide. The lefty Ace Fennick is going to roll out, fire to the sideline, and that pass is caught for a Glory first down into the hands of Dave Axis. First time we've seen the 4-season veteran today. 3 seasons with the Lone Star Glory.
A couple seasons over at Atlanta is no easy catches as the Diva makes a nice grab there on the sideline.
Same formation, but this time they're going to run it up the gut, and the Fort Worth defense is all over it. Look out, here comes David Horrell, the former #1 overall pick in the SFL draft, running downhill, is a danger for running backs.
Absolutely. Now, the rush defense isn't as stymied as their pass defense, but still near the top 10 in rushing yards allowed per game with 83, and no easy yards on the ground either for Lone Star.
No gain on that play. Power eye now. They're going to throw out of it. It's going to set up the screen. McBride trying to bounce it outside, and she will pick up 7 yards out to the 48-yard line across midfield.
And that was Ryan Caudill there, setting the edge there on the screen. Nice block, which helped McBride get around him and spin upfield and pick up a good gain of about 7, 3rd and short. You could really do anything here with this down and distance.
Haven't seen this formation from the Glory yet today. Twin in the backfield, and a nice catch along the sideline by Greg Soto. Had to kind of scoop his hands underneath to make a basket catch and keep his feet in bounds to move the chains up to the 41.
Just move those chains any way you can for Lone Stars. They'll pick up one of their first few first downs on the day. Make that their 2nd first down conversion today.
Twin in the backfield again. Ike McBride blasted back at the 42-yard line, loss of 1. The defensive line for the Toros on a rampage right now. E.K. Vincent, his 2nd tackle of the ball game.
E.K. Vincent with a full head of steam just got into the backfield for his first tackle for the loss of the ball game. Needs 1 more to pass DJ Majesty, who he's now tied with for 23rd all time.
Over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Ace Fennick took a deep shot, and the Fort Worth passing defense was ready for it. Marquise Reed, the former London Knight and St. Louis Gladiator, knocked the ball away. 3rd down.
Just playing center field, and that's one thing we love to see from Fort Worth, or if you're a Fort Worth fan, just nothing doing, insufferable defense, and just infuriating Ace Fennick.
Defense going to try and pin its ears back on 3rd and 11. Slants over the middle. That's an impressive catch as the ball was rifled right down the hash marks. And Dave Axis gives us another first down for Lone Star. Their 3rd on the drive, and the set of downs continues.
Another tight window, just throwing beyond Blake Prine there and covered. The safety playing a little bit further forward as the nickel back, and the sleeves makes a nice play with his hands.
2nd catch of the drive for Axis. The Glory now moving close to the red zone at the 26. McBride scampers away from the defensive line, and it has to be the secondary to bring her down. all the way to the 19.
You have to get at least 2 men to bring down Ike McBride because she is that explosive and that hard to bring down. Good play from Fort Worth, but credit Ike McBride on the nice solid pickup of 6.
Second and 4. Lone Star into the red zone for the first time. They'll set up the screen to McBride. A lot of work to do, and E.K. Vincent says not this time. A gain of only 3, and it's 3rd down and 1.
A lot of distance between McBride and the defense when she got the ball, but good closing speed from E.K. Vincent to shut her down before the line to gain.
Five-step drop. Going to the corner of the end zone. Wide open for the touchdown. There's Dave Axis. He was the main receiver on the drive, and he caps it with a beautiful catch. And the Lone Star Glory are on the board.
Leads the team in touchdowns now with 5, and that's just an excellent ball thrown by Ace Fennick over the defense and into hands of the Diva himself. Don't look out now, but the Diva is starting to run away with things.
And Lone Star right back in this game after the majority of this first half was controlled by the Fort Worth Toros. On for the extra point, Hugh Parvis. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, to join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it, and a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games and thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The Simulation Football League, 17 seasons strong. And now just a 3-point ball game, Tyler. Just how quick, it just goes to show you how quickly these games can change on a dime. During the last break, we were talking about, wow, Lone Star is going to have to find some offense, so this could get ugly quick. And just like that, they just marched down the field and score a touchdown.
Yeah, and they converted on all 3 of their 3rd downs, and they only had 1 first down conversion coming into that drive. They had 3 on that last drive as well. So big drive from Lone Star to get back into this football game.
Now the Toros have it. 2:39 to go, second quarter. All 3 timeouts remaining for both squads. They're at their own 35. Curtis, a 3-step drop. Going to rifle it down the field in a double coverage. And it's knocked away by Bo Martin Jr.
Now Cameron Curtis. He's been having such a good day through the air, not trying to force anything. That time he tried to force something to immediately rebound and come back with a touchdown of his own right away to his own receiver, Stephen Hacker, but he threw it right into double coverage. Come on, Curtis, you can't do that.
And Fort Worth was doing so well, had 2 excellent drives of about 55, 56 yards where they got all the way down inside the red zone, kicked a field goal on one, scored a touchdown on the other, and they did that by relying on Jason Williams, yes, but also Cameron Curtis throwing short passes and getting his receivers in space where they can make plays with their legs. Curtis this time throws. I don't know what kind of play design that was. Is coming back for the football was Robert Garrett Jr., and he does well to get back to the line of scrimmage as he's tackled by Nate Hall.
I think Curtis was trying to find Jason Williams on the swing pass near the far side, but maybe he just overthrew him. And credit to Garrett Jr. coming up and trying to save a completion for his quarterback, but you start right back where you were here on 3rd down.
It looked kind of like Robert Garrett Jr. jumped the route of his own quarterback there. Now 3rd and 10, and Curtis throws incomplete. Kind of into a mess of players over the middle, and Fort Worth goes 3 and out.
And I may be hinting at maybe a little bit of a pass interference because it was into tight coverage and the receiver wasn't able to get to the football because there were so many defenders in his way, but no call. And I kind of like that call as well because everybody was focused on the ball, not trying to halt the receiver.
First 3 and out for Fort Worth today. And their punter, Ray Einhorn, is on for the 2nd time. He's got a nice booming punt caught at the 30 and down at the 31-yard line. That is the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Lone Star could tie or potentially take the lead before the break when we come back. This is the SFL on Next Level Sports. Stay with us. 1:55 left in the opening half. Lone Star Glory on the road against their arch rival, the Fort Worth Toros, trying to drive to tie or take the lead before the break. And Dave Axis, once again, is the go-to target for Ace Fennick as he picks up 3 yards on first down. I'm Michael Trevino. Tyler Falk is alongside me. Justin Reside is on stats for us today. Thank you for joining us, as always, on Next Level Sports. This presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. 2nd and 7. Ike McBride right up the middle, nowhere to go. No room at all, and E.K. Vincent has had McBride's number in this second quarter.
Another crunching tackle by Vincent. He wants number 23 all time by himself. Close that time around, but tackled right there at the line of scrimmage. Not just yet, my friend. Big third down upcoming for Lone Star if they want to take the lead.
Empty set, all slants over the middle. Nice catch in traffic and all the way up to the 46-yard line. Lone Star has 3 timeouts. Decides not to use one. They'll go up tempo because they like this 5-wide set. Moving in the pocket is Fennick. Another reaching grab. Deuce Fennick. The Fennick to Fennick connection works. And Lone Star is into Fort Worth territory.
First time we've called the Ace to Deuce connection. Need to see a little bit more of that.
Again, they go up tempo. 31 seconds to go in the half. Fennick, middle, caught. First down and more inside the 25. And now Lone Star calls their first timeout.
It's the same play back-to-back times, and Fennick found all 3 gentlemen on his right side. Started out with a nice pass to Adam Williams to begin the drive, then passed it and found his brother Deuce over the middle, and that time found the hot hands and Dave Axis for his second catch on the drive, 5th on the day.
So you've got 25 seconds and 2 timeouts here. Do you get another play underneath before you take a shot to the end zone?
You got 2 timeouts. I say you probably get as close as you can to the goal line to kick an easy field goal, or if you can, punch it in.
Throw to the far sideline. Caught by Greg Soto. Did he get out of bounds? Yes. And the first down at the 13-yard line. Stops the clock with 21 seconds to go and saves a timeout.
That's just a great all-around play by Greg Soto. Stretched his hands out with the football to cross the line to gain and gets knocked out of bounds. I would give him an A+ on that play for the grade sheet.
3 receivers left, none right. From the 13-yard line. Buying time in the backfield is Fennick, and he completes underneath again. This time to Deuce, Ace to Deuce connection for the second time on this drive. And they're inside the 10 now at the 9-yard line.
2 plays that have taken up less than 6 seconds. That's just an outstanding play calling from Lone Star. And now with 18 seconds to go, you're inside the 10-yard line, have 2 timeouts, and it's only 2nd down.
Lone Star was nowhere for the first 2 quarters and a half, and they may take the lead into the break. Another corner route. Greg Soto couldn't get out of bounds, so Lone Star calls their second timeout with 13 seconds left.
3rd and 1 from the 4 here, Torillo, and it's really tight down here on the goal line. We know how good Fort Worth's defense has been so far this season and has been so good here today, but I don't like the play call here from Lone Star. Yes, you want to go and tie the game before the end of the half, but you have plenty of time to maybe take a shot into the end zone, or at least take a shot with Ike McBride rushing it up the gut.
Yeah, you could run with McBride, and if you don't get there, you could call a timeout and kick. That's an odd choice for me. Kick on the way and good from Hugh Parvis, and the game is tied at 10 with 11 seconds to go in the half.
Well, they did what they had to do to get this game all tied up back at 10. So, again, it was a great drive by Lone Star. I would have loved them to maybe try and punch it in here with a run up the gut. But still, tie ball game. Whereas we started the game with 11 minutes on the clock in the first quarter.
9 plays, 65-yard drive in just under 2 minutes. Coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report, Kevin Irvine and Mike St. Green break down the first half of the Glory and the Toros, recap the early Saturday games that features Vegas, Portland, Atlanta, and D.C., and provide an update on the action going on in California between the Scorpions and the Lycans. It's all coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report. 7 seconds to go. It looks like Fort Worth are content to just head to the locker room all even. Look out, here goes Jason Williams. Williams down the sideline, breaking free. There's no time left on the second quarter clock, but Jason Williams doesn't care. He's going to scamper all the way home, and the Fort Worth Toros lead at the halftime break.
Now, where have I seen this before? Right at the end of the half. Maybe it was a Mexico City game where Phoenix Jones took up at the end of the half, and there goes Mr. Jason Williams spinning away from Bo Martin Jr. and taking it all the way to the house. Big touchdown for Fort Worth, and they take the lead going into the half.
You know the defense got beat when the closest man to Jason Williams as he crossed the goal line was defensive end Jukin Rukin.
Yeah, Jukin Rukin, he's a great player, but maybe 6'2" and all 32 pounds of just wasn't quick enough to get behind Thrilliums and Thrilliums. Just another one for the highlight package.
Sicario on for the extra points. And it almost looked like lackadaisical defense from Lone Star there, as they expected Fort Worth to just run up the middle and take the game to halftime, but Jason Williams had other plans. We've hit the halftime break here at the Stockyards. Toros 17, Glory 10. This is the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report along with Mike St. Green. I am Cameron Irvine. What a great half of football. Fort Worth leads Lone Star 17-10, all thanks to Jason Williams there at the end of the half. Mike, Lone Star clawed. They did so much to get back in the game, and then poof, there it goes right at the end of the half.
Yeah, Cam, as you mentioned, Lone Star fought, tooth and nail to get back into this game, and then and looked like we were going into half at, tied up, and then Jason Williams, in the second touchdown of the day, I mean, he basically showed you his versatility. He had an early 1 yard touchdown run, just banging it into the end zone, and then right here before the half, a huge, 67-yard touchdown run, to show his versatility that he can, take it long as well. And Fort Worth comes up, 17-10 at the half after basically dominating the entire first quarter. And, so they're fortunate to be up at halftime right now.
on this busy football Saturday. We've already gotten some earlier action. Let's start with the overtime game here in the SFL in Week 7. That belonged to the Atlanta Swarm after what originally looked like 3 drop passes, although upon further review, John DeSantis got a hand on a long ball to Falco. But 2 critical drops down the stretch for Atlanta, and it looked like all was lost. And then they are able to force a fumble on the punt return, and DC's bad luck continues. They continue to lose these dangerously close games and have now lost 4 in a row, now 2-5.
Yeah, DC, they've really played into some tough luck over the past few weeks. I think 4 losses by a total of 12 points. DC, they're the DC that we expect. They're always going to be there. But, now it's to the point, what can they do to get over the hump? But this game in general, Cam, was a back-and-forth game, 16-10 at halftime. DC, they were up, and Atlanta, over the past, really the course of the season, they really need to credit this defense. It wasn't Jack Napier today. He didn't get a pick, but rookie Jay Rock started this game off with a pick 6, and as you mentioned, Chris Henry with an interception, and this Atlanta defense has really kept them in games. Brian Dynasty struggled in the first half. We were kind of talking about that a little bit, but hey, credit to him. He did pick it up with 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. He really made a difference in this game in the second half. And then when the defense wasn't making plays on offense, when defense wasn't making plays against the DC offense, the special team stepped up big, as you mentioned, in overtime, forced a fumble and a game-winning field goal by Sammy Steele. If
you remember last week or last season, Mike, DC's red zone turnovers were a big cause of some of their losses, and it almost seems like it's kind of creeping back up on them. They had at least 3 picks in the red zone today. And that's tough. When you drive all the way down the field and then you can't get any points at all, huge deflator.
Yeah, we saw several drives in that way today. They were inside the red zone, as you mentioned. I think the Chris Henry interception was on the 1-yard line, and just a couple of more drives that stalled out, there towards the end of a long drive. And obviously today, that was probably the difference in between winning and losing.
Now, we also had Las Vegas take care of Portland today, 38-20. Very impressive, probably their most complete win of the season. They're now 3-4, a half game behind Arizona, who leads the division and is at Los Angeles today.
Yeah, this Las Vegas team, Cam, is a extremely interesting team. They've won 3 out of their last 4. One of the 4 losses was to undefeated Baltimore a couple of weeks ago in the shutout, and maybe we didn't know what to expect out of this team, but after that loss, but they bounced back nicely. They have wins over, like I said, Portland today. Portland was flying high, coming off of a win over London. They defeated Vancouver. So this Las Vegas team, they're playing well. They didn't show up well in the game against Baltimore. That game was in rain and weather, so maybe they just didn't adjust to that well. But today was a great performance by this defense as well. Max Jackson, 3 interceptions. They turned over Portland in their first 3 possessions of the game, and they also turned over Portland in their last 2 possessions of the game. And O.J. Bruin, he struggled a little bit today, the rookie quarterback. He had 6 interceptions. But Cam, coming into this game, we were looking at the battle of these 2 running backs, Scott Johnson and Ezekiel Love. I mean, they were equal in yardage. Scott Johnson had 156 and a touchdown. Ezekiel Love had 159 and a touchdown. I'm sorry, Scott Johnson. I shorted him, Cam. He actually had 4 touchdowns. So the yardage was equal, but Scott Johnson won this battle head-to-head with the 4 touchdown runs today, and Las Vegas came away with a huge win and keep their name into this playoff hunt.
Yeah, if your only loss in the last month is to unbeaten Baltimore, I mean, so what? So was everybody, right? So, and like you said, that was in the rain, and nothing went right for them. But everything else, Vegas has been doing terrifically here recently. Let's, on that note, as we're 2 games into Week 7, let's look at the standings after Week 6, halfway through the season. Mike, And, there's a lot of interesting divisional games to look around here as, apologies, we adjust our camera to get all of those divisions on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, these division battles are starting to shape up. As you mentioned, one of the more interesting ones, is out west. Vegas with the win today, they move up to 3-4 as that, it hasn't been adjusted there on our graphic. And Arizona, they're in a huge game out in Los Angeles right now. And they're going to need that win to stay on top of that division. I mean, you'll be below 500 if Arizona, loses and be in first place. But I'll take it if it were me. So yeah, that's one of the divisions that stands out. And it may not take much to win that. It may 6-6 could possibly pull out the division win and get the automatic playoff berth.
And a lot of pressure now on the East as well. After the victory by Atlanta, they're now a game and a half ahead of St. Louis. Louisiana has looked pretty good. St. Louis has looked pretty good, especially in recent weeks, but they're starting to fall behind. And we were talking earlier, Mike, we kind of can't believe that Atlanta's 5-2 because their offense has been so wishy-washy, but that defense has been superb.
Yeah, this Atlanta defense has truly stepped up and have these guys in the position that they are in right now. 5-2, they were my pick, in the preseason to make it to the season championship game. But I picked that, Cam, basically because I thought, they were going back to the running gun, 3 wide receiver set, and Brian Dynasty would be throwing the ball all over the place. But these guys are 5-2, but mainly because of the defense has stepped up over the last few weeks and giving these guys a chance to win week in and week out.
Yeah, it should be fun down the stretch. And tomorrow, Mike St. Green will premiere his mid-season awards, and so we'll see what he thinks. I already vehemently disagree with one of them, and so we'll debate that at halftime tomorrow, but be on the lookout for that. Well, last week the Sim Pod struggled to. Actually, before we get to that, let's pop over to L.A. and Arizona right now because L.A.'s up 3-0. They've got about 28 seconds to go in the first quarter over there. We'll have bonus coverage of that on Next Level Sports. But big game between division leaders, Mike, and so far so good for the red-hot Lycans.
Yeah, this LA team, Cam, they've been truly impressive over the last, really over the course of the season, but really over the course of the last 3 to 4 weeks. Of course, they had the big coaching change that everyone, is familiar with and knows about, and they've just taken off since that coaching change happened and haven't skipped a beat and really look better than they look coming out of the gate the first 3 weeks of the season. In LA, they are truly one of the better teams in the league right now.
Yeah, Arizona's got their hands full, and if they lose today, Vegas is right on top of them here. And, Denver could not be – the tough game against Baltimore coming up this week, but you never know. Anything goes in the SFL. Well, last week the Sim Pod struggled to introduce themselves. You remember that, Mike? They had some trouble. This week, let's give the Sim Pod team another shot at sharing one of their top Sim Pod moments.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Doug, a.k.a. Douglas Brown, joined by Pat, a.k.a. Benny Butcher.
And Jeff, a.k.a. Potty Potty. Check out one of the greatest moments from the Sim Pod, where one of us gets drafted.
With the second pick in the SFL's Season 17 rookie draft, the DC Dragons select Potty Potty.
Woo! Woo!
The third pick.
Woo!
You're on the clock. That's somebody. I need to get the list in front of me.
There you go, Potty off of the board here. Interesting selection, the highest value kicker on the board. There's only 4 of them that are draftable, and we will toss it over to Eddie Gage first. Eddie, immediate reactions to a kicker going second overall in the Season 17 draft.
The Sim Pod just aired their 40th episode this week, and you can check them out on our website, simulationfl.net. There's a link on the homepage, or you can search the Sim Pod on YouTube. At the half, Fort Worth leads Lone Star 17-10. We'll be back after this. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Stockyards for the second half of action between the Fort Worth Toros and the Lone Star Glory. The Toros looking for their first ever win over their DFW rivals, and they lead by 7 after a late, very late touchdown run at the end of the first half by Jason Williams, and they start with the ball here in the second. Caden Stevens working his way through traffic up to the 36-yard line. It was all Fort Worth early, Tyler, and then Lone Star got the ball rolling a little bit.
Yeah, I really liked how Lone Star's offense came out late on in that second quarter and just put the pedal to the metal and got 10 points. They kicked a field goal with 15 seconds to go, and then the rest, as they well say, is history, with Thrillium showing up to end the quarter.
First down, they're going to go out to Aaron Alexander, the fullback, his second touch of the ball today, and he'll pick up 3 yards. Remember his first catch on a similar play, he tried to make a spin move in open space, and Bo Martin Jr. said, I'll have none of that, thank you very much.
Yeah, he put the rookie fullback on fire, is how I'm being told I said the word, but my apologies, as Aaron Alexander makes his nice second catch of the ball game. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Handoff up the middle. Jason Williams gets absolutely smacked after a short gain. Mickey McGuire, Gunny, in on the tackle, 3rd down and 5.
Wisest man in the SFL ain't going to be fooled by Thrilliums this time around and takes him down after a short gain. Big 3rd down for Lone Star. Can they stop him here?
The Glory looking for momentum after a tough end of the first half. Curtis underneath, and that's caught for a first down barely by Cade Stevens. He was just able to stretch that one across the line to gain first down.
And now both teams have completed 50% of their 3rd down conversions. Both teams with 4 conversions apiece. Now can Fort Worth continue the drive?
Defensive line shifts to the left. A lot of players in the box for Lone Star. Run up the middle for Jason Williams, and he works right through the first level of defense. Excellent job by Johnny Van Man and the rest of that Fort Worth offensive line.
Van Man and McGuire coming up and making the tackle, stopping Mr. Thrilliums from breaking off another one. Did put on a juke early on, but wasn't able to escape those two. But for Fort Worth, 2nd and short, open playbook.
I mean, when you put 8 in the box and the running back still gets to the second level as he hurdles a downed player and picks up another first down out to the 42-yard line, does Jason Williams. Back on the previous play, if you put 8 in the box like Lone Star did and it's still a secondary member that has to make the tackle, well, you're either doing something wrong or the offensive line's doing something right.
And credit the Fort Worth offense is the 4th best rushing attack in the league, and again showing us why, especially when you have Thrilliums in the backfield.
Check down Williams, not going to get very far that time. Freddie Trammell, Johnny on the spot to make the tackle, 2nd down and 10.
No gain, and maybe that's one way that Lone Star can creep back in this game is if they're going to allow those short passes, they need to close up on the receiver rather quickly, and they did just that to force no gain.
You mentioned Jay March, who leads the league in total tackles this season. Haven't heard from him yet in this second quarter. There's a pass over the middle, and close to a first down goes Lauren Percoco, her 4th catch of the game.
Another reception for the big tight end, Lauren Percoco. The doctor is in and picking up a solid pick in yards, getting them close to that line to gain 3rd and 1.
And now here could be the Jason Williams show as they line up in the I formation. Strong side tight end set to the left.
Coverage backed off here, Terrell.
Yeah, even the linebacker is playing a little bit far away from the line. And Williams is going to go backwards 2 yards. Look out. Here comes Yogi Barr and Nate Hall.
Well, I said they backed off there, Terrell, but Nate Hall had other plans. He comes up from his safety spot and just takes down Williams in the backfield. That's not something we see all too often. Great play from a safety. Oh, but here come the offense for Fort Worth. Maybe a 4th down conversion is in the works.
It's 4th and 2. Let's see if Fort Worth actually decide to snap it, or they'll just try to draw Lone Star off sides, and it looks like they will. just try and draw the Glory off sides, and it will not work. Less than 5 seconds on the play clock, and there it is. Fort Worth burns a timeout, and man, in a game this close, that really could come back to bite the Toros down the stretch.
Absolutely, and good discipline from Lone Star. We saw Yogi Bar jump off sides earlier in the football game, learned his lesson, and stayed on sides. And now on comes Fort Worth and Taco Sicario on to try and make this a 10-point lead.
Sicario, this is going to be a long one. It'll be about a 51-yarder. Kick on the way. It is no good. Missed it to the left. And the Lone Star Glory defense holds, and they're going to get the ball back at the 31-yard line.
That's incredibly unfortunate for Taco Sicario. His third miss on the season, and he was second as far as field goals attempts so far this season with 15, now 16, and that 10-point lead evaporates back down to 7 after the missed field goal.
Now what can Lone Star do? Here's a fullback dive underneath. Ike McBride, on the halfback dive. Still gains 5 yards either way, and it's second down.
Well, she is kind of built like a fullback there, Torillo, and it's her running style that maybe confuses us just a little bit, as she's more of the hard-nosed runner. So good run for McBride, picking up a good chunk of yards.
There's an excellent hole right up the middle with daylight to run through for McBride. Blasted down at the 47-yard line of Fort Worth into enemy territory.
That's just a good blocking scheme from the offensive line. You see Ryan Caudill there in the background just taking his man to task and creating the big hole for Ike McBride, and it's a big first down for the Glory.
And how about Sudo Nakai, the former Vancouver running back? Out in front, playing fullback here for Lone Star, creating that space for McBride to work with. McBride again, trying to pick her way through the defense, and she does! Another broken tackle into the open field, trying to get to the sideline. McBride can't break the final tackle, but she still gets down inside the 10. First and goal, Lone Star on a huge run for Ike McBride.
Another good blocking scheme. Again, Suda Nakai, Ryan Caudill, and the rest of the Lone Star Glory front 5 make a huge hole for McBride, and Suda Nakai runs along with his running back, just springing her free, and they're already set up near, their first and goal for the 7. Good drive for Lone Star.
That was really what was missing from Ike McBride in the first half. They're going to check it down to McBride. Can't really get the wheels turning on that one. Only gets back to the original line of scrimmage as the tackle made by J.L. Browning.
I like what you said there, Terrell. Just slow to turn the corner and get the wheels going. And J.L. Browning took advantage of it and stopped her at the line to gain.
Power I. On second and goal, 3 linebackers in the formation for Fort Worth. McBride, middle, nowhere to go again. Gains 1, if that. Gang tackled at the 6-yard line.
That's a very formidable front 7 that Fort Worth have, and they, so far on the drive, McBride has had her way with this Fort Worth defense. Not so fast, says Browning for a second time in as many plays. Third down. Can Lone Star punch it in?
They will go to the air. Fennick has the ball wrestled out of his hands as he tried to throw it by Joey Schwintz. And it's an excellent goal line stand for the Toros as they'll force a field goal.
And it's an excellent stand by the defense, Torillo. The Fort Worth defense just hold every man, hold station, battle stations, kept everybody in sync. It was just in charge of the play. Good play from Joey Schwick to force the field goal.
It will be a relative chip shot for Hugh Purvis. And Parvis puts it up, and it is good. Lone Star closes the deficit. Fort Worth gets the ball back, only up 17-13 when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. The Lone Star Glory have pulled a little bit closer as it's 17-13. The Fort Worth Toros lead with 4:09 to go third quarter. I'm Michael Drillo. Tyler Falk is alongside with me in commentary for this rivalry game here in Week 7 of the Simulation Football League's 17th season. Cade Stevens returns to the 33-yard line. And on that last drive for Fort Worth, we saw the Lone Star defense start to exercise some momentum.
Yeah, and it was a missed field goal last time the Fort Worth offense took to the field after a good tackle behind the line of scrimmage by Nate Hall. Can they make the same thing happen again, the Lone Star defense?
Single back set, and hauled down after only a gain of 3 yards is Jason Williams. Williams on the day, 20 carries, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that big, long touchdown run of 66 yards right before the end of the first half. I formation Williams again, and nowhere to go as he is crunched to the ground by Nate Hall.
Nate Hall showing up even more prevalently now. Another tackle, and this time shorting Jason Williams only 1 yard as he makes another good tackle on the dangerous halfback. 3rd and 6 now for the Toros. Cameron Curtis needs to be consistent with the football here. Needs to just find an open receiver, not force anything.
Neither quarterback has been fantastic in this third quarter. Curtis going deep, and it's going to be picked off. The first turnover of the game goes to the Lone Star Glory, and they have all the momentum right now as Bo Martin Jr. says, "I'll have that."
That's a double whammy, as that's the first or the second ball I've seen Curtis throw a little bit wayward right into coverage, and that right there makes up for the missed tackle on Jason Williams to end out the half by Bo Martin Jr., forcing an interception and putting his offense back on the field.
Second interception of the season for Bo Martin Jr. And as you said, a little bit of redemption. Now let's see if the offense can put it in the end zone as McBride gets hauled down after a gain of only 3, pushed out of bounds by David Horrell.
Good little swing pass. That'll start the drive off on the right foot. good short pickup of 3 yards. Now can they string a couple more of those plays together?
Lone Stars loved this power set in this third quarter. Let's see if Ike McBride can get loose with this swing pass out of the backfield. Has some room to work and picks up 3 more. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 from the 45 of Fort Worth.
That's another good gang tackle up on Ike McBride. She featured on back-to-back plays, both on swing passes. First one went for 3, this one went for 4. They get another 3 or 4 yarder here. They'll be crossing the line to gain for a 1st down.
Twin backs, single receiver each side. What does the Fort Worth defense dial up here? They fake the blitz, but the rush still gets to Ace Fennick, and he goes down for a sack back at midfield.
Massive sack by Joey Schwitt, again getting into the backfield. Had a sack taken away from him as Fennick got his pass away earlier in the ball game. This time he gets into the backfield. It was just the pocket just collapsed on both sides of the offensive line, which credited with the sack, and now we got some laundry on the field.
We have a penalty flag. It's offsides against Fort Worth. And they were inside 5 to go. That gives Lone Star a 1st down. Unbelievable. The glory drive continues.
Oh, my goodness. 4th, and they're going to credit him with maybe just a yard short there, Torillo, as now decision time. Do you try and go for it, or do you just leave it for Zuderveld to try and punt it away? They're going to bring out the offense back on the field. Power versus power.
The ball was spotted a little bit farther back than I thought. They're going to snap it on 4th down. McBride out of the backfield. I think she got there, but I'm not sure. That was a big tackle by Aiden Davis, and it is a 1st down for Lone Star by an inch.
Oh, man, get your microscopes out there, Torillo. That was really close, but a good hard-nosed carry from Mike McBride on the swing pass gives Lone Star even more life and continues the drive.
Fort Worth kind of feels hard done. They should be off the field, but a offsides on the punt and then a 1-yard pickup gives Lone Star a fresh set of downs. Mike McBride only got 1 on that last game. Looks like she's getting a little bit tired as she has basically been the only player to touch the ball in this drive. Let's see if Fennick decides to air it out here. He does. The far sideline, there goes Dave Axis. And Axis picks up a 1st down to the 31-yard line that's Adam Williams, the tight end. Picks up a 1st down for Lone Star as we get close to the end of the quarter.
Just a nice route run there by Williams as he turns the quarter, gets past the defenders and up to the 1st down. But back to your point there on Ike McBride and her maybe just featuring the entire time on the drive, there's only been 6 offensive plays and she's featured on 4 of them.
We head to the 4th. 4's up. 86 is up in the chat at FTF next. Fort Worth and Lone Star do a battle down the stretch. This is the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports. Fourth quarter on tap for the Stockyards. Fort Worth clinging to a 17-13 lead, but the Lone Star Glory are driving, trying to keep their perfect record against the Toros intact. Whoa, look out. That was a bit of an awkward play as Ike McBride drops a short pass, 2nd down and 10.
That's Ike McBride's first drop pass of the season. That's not something we see too often from her, and I think it's the same play a while ago where they were deep in the red zone, and they tried to get her out on a nice little dump off pass, but she wasn't able to turn upfield. That probably was the same play.
Now 2nd and 10. Fennec almost sacked. This gets the ball away, and it's caught over the middle for a gain of 5. Greg Soto, 5 for 5 on the day. And Ace Fennec has been putting the ball on the mark for the most part, but that last play to McBride, a little bit off.
In baseball, Torillo, we call lazy fly balls. That was just a lazy little pass over the middle. That was quite dangerous.
Greg Soto had to work back to the football. Hit as he throws, and the pass is almost intercepted. Blake Prine, that's his 2nd big knockdown of the game. And it's 4th and 5.
Now can the Glory come out and tack on a field goal and pull this within 1? We got 2 tight ball games going on, Torillo. Ours here in Fort Worth, and you look over on SFL Twitch, you got Los Angeles and Arizona at the half, 6-3.
Bonus coverage of that game coming up after this game concludes on Next Level Sports. It's going to be about a 42-yard field goal for Parvis. With the right leg, gets it away. It's good! And it's a 1-point game with 10 minutes to go. 17-16 Fort Worth.
He made that by an eyelash. Probably put a note card in between the ball and the post. Wow, that was close. Just enough leg from Purvis. And Lone Star are back within 1.
It's a game of inches. Remember, Ike McBride barely getting that first out earlier to set up the field goal. And now the Fort Worth offense, who has been a little bit anemic in this second half, and were so good in the first at just being effective moving the ball downfield, will have to try and at least burn some time off the clock if they don't score.
It's been a battle in the trenches on both sides of the football. Williams able to knock off a couple of big runs, including the one in the end of the half. Now been pretty well stymied here in the second half. Let's see what they do here as they come out with split backfield.
Right down the middle, a laser beam from Cameron Curtis to find Robert Garrett Jr. for 9.
Tight ends have been the feature receiver for the Fort Worth Toros, as Robert Garrett Jr. and Lauren Percoco combined have 8 catches. Meanwhile, all other receivers just have 1, that being Cade Stevens.
It's been the tight end show. It's also been the Jason Williams show. Spin move, dragging defenders to the 50. First down, Fort Worth.
Someone go check on that man who got put in the spin cycle. My goodness, Jason Thrilliams is putting on a show here in Fort Worth as he gets by the defenders and then has to be gang tackled across the near the midfield stripe.
The replay didn't even show it. By the time the replay started, he was already past the spin. First down, Toros. Williams gets it again. This time, nothing much doing as he just dives forward. Next Saturday on Next Level Sports, coverage of the Simulation Football League's 17th season continues September 11th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday honoring the military service and sacrifice, Louisiana hosts defending champ Denver, followed by Lone Star hosting Los Angeles. Bonus coverage includes Arizona, Vancouver, and DC Portland. It all comes your way next Saturday on Next Level Sports. Williams gets a block and gets close to a first down with a 7-yard pickup, 3rd and 1.
If Gunny wasn't where he was there on that part of the field, Thrilliams was gone for another big scamper as McGuire gets him to stop right there, right before the line to gain, and in comes J. Mart to finish him off.
Here's a huge play, getting towards field goal range, 3rd down and 1. Williams has a lane to the outside and just one block away from potentially going the distance. Albert Begin shook off Lauren Percoco and made the tackle, but not before Williams scampered for a long 1st down run.
Percoco was there trying to set the edge, and Begin just able to muscle her out of the way and tackle Williams. And just a big play for Fort Worth as they convert on a huge 3rd down.
And that was off tackle on 3rd and 1. Gutsy call by the Fort Worth offense. Handoff middle, Williams only gets 3. For the first time all day, we've got an SFL studio update. Cameron Irvine, take it away.
Thank you, Mike Torillo. It's been so long since a game break. Wasn't quite sure how to turn on the microphones. Finally, an offensive touchdown in LA, Mike.
Yes, Cam, we finally get an opportunity to earn our pay. DJ Moses here with a run off tackle, takes it in from 1 yard. Arizona goes up on LA 10-6 midway through the 3rd quarter.
A 1-yard touchdown, Torillo. Who would have thought? Back to you guys in Fort Worth.
Thank you, Cam. Defensive struggle between Arizona and Los Angeles. Remember, you can see that game bonus coverage right after the conclusion of Fort Worth Lone Star right here on Next Level Sports. 2nd straight 3rd down and short, this time 3rd down and 3. Curtis going to go to the air to the far side. Wide open is Cade Stevens, and he makes the catch. And the 1st down to the 21. Fort Worth knocking on the door of the red zone.
Cade Stevens just has some nice clean hands this time around and picks up another big 3rd down for this offense. Now they're just outside the SFL red zone trying to extend the lead.
Williams off the right side, spin move back to the inside, and he is tackled by J. Martz. Tina Begin was also in the area, the former Queen City Corsair. Got a couple of former Queen City Corsairs in this ball game. On Lone Star's side, you've got Tina Begin and Albert Begin, and then also Jeff Duffy, the 8th-season veteran who spent 7 seasons with Queen City playing defensive end for Fort Worth. 2nd and 7. Up the middle goes Williams, dragging Jukin Rukin, and he's going to be marked just short of the 1st down marker at the 12.
That's a very interesting spot. We saw one go the way of Lone Star in the 4th and short conversion. This time it'll go against Fort Worth, and if I were a head coach in Fort Worth, I'd be throwing the challenge flag.
Maybe if it was 4th and inches. 3rd and inches, I think you're gonna take a shot here. They do with Williams. Oh no, they give it to Alexander. And Aaron Alexander can't get there. In fact, he loses a yard.
That's not even Aaron Alexander this time. It's gonna be Bailey Rentley with the carry. The backup halfback gets the call, and he's just unable to get any momentum, and gets tackled for the loss.
Lone Star holds in the red zone. And Taco Sicario is going to try a 30-yard field goal to put the Toros back up 4. It is good, but now that decision not to challenge that spot on the 2nd down carry where there was 3rd and 1 looms large over Fort Worth's offense.
But good job for Fort Worth to march down the field and kick home the field goal, something that Sicario missed a long one the last time out. He gets a little bit of redemption and extends the lead back out to 4. Can Lone Star answer with just over 5 minutes left to go in the ballgame?
That drive for Fort Worth took almost 5 minutes off the clock. Deep into the end zone, the return for Deuce Fennick, and he's not going to get very far past the 20, so a 78-yard field in front of the Lone Star Glory. Ace Fennick, Ike McBride, and company back out on the field.
Torillo, if Fort Worth is going to get the ball back and if they're going to try and milk as much clock as they did on the last drive, Lone Star have to get a touchdown here. A field goal won't cut it.
They're a long way from pay dirt. Let's see if they can get there. Fennec in the gun. It's going to be a design quarterback draw, and that play goes backwards 2 yards. And they choose to go up tempo here. Fennec, short, tipped, almost picked, and was that caught? Did Ike McBride somehow in the chaos came down with that for 4 yards? Anyway, it's 3rd and 8. Pressure coming, the pass is away, and Greg Soto hangs on to the 36-yard line.
How is that not
Unbelievable
deflected?
catch.
How is that not deflected, Torillo? 2 crazy passing plays back to back. How did Soto come up with that catch? It looked like it was just barely behind the defender. And Fort Worth challenging where he caught it or not.
Oh my goodness. How crazy is this? Like after the first down quarterback draw nonsense that lost 2 yards, to go up tempo, to get a deflected catch, and then this. Let's see if Greg Soto stays in bounds here, Tyler.
I still don't know how he got that football.
It's so close.
After review, the play stands. The pass was complete. The catch was made prior to going out of bounds.
He's in. Greg Soto drags the left foot. And Lone Star has a first down out to the 38-yard line. Oh my goodness, what a sequence of plays.
Wow. Okay, Lone Star, you've had 2 plays go your way. March down the rest of the field and tack on 7.
Well, that's what the traveling Lone Star Glory supporters are thinking about right now. Haven't had to travel far, just 37 miles down I-35. Pass in the flat. Ace to deuce connection works, and it's 2nd down and short. Oh, though they say he didn't complete it. Oh, no, 2nd and 5.
Nope.
A little bit of a mix-up between our graphics and the lines on the field. Apologies for that. 2nd and 5, just over 4 minutes to go in the game. Ike McBride hurdles a defender at the line of scrimmage and picks up a first down out to midfield.
I talked about earlier in the ball game is the way and the style that McBride loves to run. Head down, feet pounding the turf, rustling through defenders, and that time another hard-nosed run equals a first down.
The clock continues to run. Sand draining through the hourglass. 3 minutes and 41 seconds and counting now for Lone Star. They bisect the midfield stripe on 1st and 10. McBride again leaps over a fallen defender and picks up 5. Delaney Nash on the stop.
And Delaney Nash says, I've had enough of you having your way with us, like McBride. I'm going to just lay the hammer to you and plaster you down onto the turf. But they're nickel and diamond here, Torillo. Another gain of 5 yards.
We are getting close to the 2-minute warning. McBride on the carry again, and it's another gain of 5 for a first down spot, that one at the 40. Remember, a field goal doesn't do the Glory any good. They got to punch it in the end zone.
We call it nickel and diamond here, Torillo. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. I think for every 5 yards the Ike McBride gains, you should get a nickel, because that's how much she's helping out her offense.
Is it nickel and diming if it's the running back, though? I thought that was a passing term.
Maybe.
Anyway, McBride gonna get the ball again. Blockers out in front of her that completely miss a defender. And McBride only gets 3 on the tackle by J.L. Browning.
Browning's been everywhere today, making as many stops as he can, that being his 5th tackle on the ball game. Has that fumble early on in the day, and comes up with another big tackle on Ike McBride.
McBride, middle, close to a first down, does get the spot to the 29-yard line. Combination of Delaney Nash and E.K. Vincent in on the stop.
Another solid run for Ike McBride as we hit the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning, Lone Star in Fort Worth. You won't want to miss this finish. Fort Worth and Lone Star coming down the stretch. This is the SFL on Next Level Sports. Coming down to the wire here between Dallas-Fort Worth area rivals, the Toros and the Lone Star Glory. Glory trying to maintain a perfect record all time over Fort Worth. And that run by Ike McBride is not really going to get him there. Down by 4, minute 50 to go and counting. E.K. Vincent with a big tackle.
Another crunching tackle for Vincent, the 8-season vet, showing his prowess. Empty backfield, no Ike McBride on the field. They're going to pass here.
Empty set on 2nd and 9. Ace Fennick going to take a shot. He goes to the far side, and Greg Soto taps the toes and gets out of bounds at the 23-yard line. 3rd and 3, and this is a huge play.
Now, who prevails? The strong Fort Worth deep passing defense or the Lone Star Glory? Can they find a way to get into the red zone? Can they cross the 20-yard line? No, Ike McBride, back up, half back in.
Sorry, Tyler, I don't think you go deep here. I think you just have to play conservative and get to the sticks. 3rd and 3. Fennick with time. Does go underneath. First down to the 18-yard line. Bailed out by Dave Axis. And Lone Star is into the red zone.
The Diva makes a clutch catch, and now they're into the red zone. Like you said, Torello, big plays are made by big-time players, and the Diva showing up in the spotlight.
Remember, this drive started at Lone Star's own 22. Look out, as there was a rampage in the backfield led by Joey Schwint, who forced Ace Fennick to just throw the ball away.
Schwint again seeing red like the mad bull that he is, trying to get to Ace Fennick before he can get the pass off, and unfortunately for him, the pass flutters incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Glory.
Both teams still have, well, Lone Star has 3 timeouts. Fort Worth has 1 timeout. High snap for Fennick. Going to the corner, caught and getting out of bounds. Right at the 11-yard line, they'll spot it. That's Dave Axis again. Just a tick under a minute to go, and another 3rd down and 3.
Another clutch play, this time even further into the red zone. You don't have to go deep like you said there, Torello, but you do have to cross that 8-yard line. A field goal will not cut it with 59 seconds left to go on the ticker.
They're going to trust Ike McBride, and she is blasted backwards, loss of 2. Lone Star takes a timeout. How about Jeff Duffy? We haven't called his name all day, but he makes what might be the most important stop of the ball game with 56 seconds left.
He now forces 4th and possibly ball game for all the marbles to keep your season alive in the playoff hunt.
4th and 3. They got to get to the 8-yard line. Fennick throws, touchdown, Dave Axis. Lone Star takes the lead with 53 seconds left.
Mr. Sleeves, the Diva, Dave Axis with his 2nd tutty of the ball game, and none more clutch than that. Lone Star take the lead.
It's their first lead of the ball game. And they're going to go up 2, potentially 3 on the Hugh Parvis extra point. And now Fort Worth has going to have about 45 seconds, I guess, and 1 timeout to try and get into field goal range to tie or a touchdown to win. Before we get to that drive, we go to Cameron Irvine for a studio update. Cam?
Thank you, Mike. St. Green, Arizona, starting to pull away.
Yeah, Cam, it's been all Arizona in this 3rd quarter. Ashley Jackson finds James Hands on the deep post. Touchdown, 17-6, Arizona. We're early in the 4th quarter.
LA just got another stop. A bonus coverage of that game coming up next whenever Fort Worth and Lone Star conclude. Back to Turillo and Tyler.
Thank you, Cam. Nice return. Kate Stevens is usually the returner for Fort Worth, but that time it was Chip Mustang, the backup safety, that got the ball out to the 37-yard line. All right, here we go. Ball game on the line. Fort Worth has never beaten Lone Star, and they've got 48 seconds to try and get the job done. One timeout as well. Going downfield is Curtis, and a diving catch made inside the 35. David Hacker finally shows his face in the fourth quarter when it matters most. Curtis, nowhere to go. Check down Williams. That's a little bit awkward for Williams. He got his feet tied up underneath him a little bit and has to just get out of bounds. Loss of 1.
Yeah, I was going to say before the drive started is that Curtis had yet to cross the 100-yard passing total to begin the drive. With that pass, he's now close to 150 yards. Big play from Curtis. And now the Toros, again, trying to inch their way down the field.
28 seconds left. Curtis, middle, caught. Penalty marker down, so we will check the flag. Robert Garrett Jr. hauled this in. If it stands, Fort Worth will be in business inside the 30-yard line.
It might take William McGonigal with pass interference. Indeed, they will.
They're actually going to hit Freddie Trammell with the PI call. Declined by Fort Worth. Now the Toros are in field goal range, and that opens up a little bit more wiggle room. You can take a couple of shots to the end zone knowing that you can, if all else fails, try to kick a field goal to send this to overtime. However, Taco Sicario has missed a field goal in this game. It was from 52 yards.
I was going to say, why not take the penalty? That would get you closer to the posts.
They'll tack the penalty on. Inside the 30 now. Curtis underneath. Hacker going backwards. That's a loss of 4. Fort Worth doesn't take their last time out. They're going to have to race back to the line. Curtis underneath. Caught. Hacker redeems himself, gets out of bounds. 3rd down and 9, 11 seconds left. You've got a timeout. I say take a shot here before you kick a field goal.
I agree with you, Torillo. I'm needing to look at Lone Star's defensive front four. Rukin, Caudill, McGinn, and Barr. They need to make a play. They need to stop Fort Worth, but it looks like Fort Worth's going to trot out Sicario for a long field goal try.
11 seconds left. It will be a 42-yarder. He missed from 52. He addresses the football with his right foot, and it's no good! It's no good! He missed it wide right! And the Lone Star Glory will maintain a perfect record against the Fort Worth Toros all time. They will win it 23-20.
He doinked it off the right upright. How unfortunate for the Toros. That's Sicario's 2nd miss on the day, his 5th on the season, and it's a backbreaker for the Fort Worth Toros season.
Ace Fennick kneels it down. Fort Worth calls their last timeout with 6 seconds to go, but this one is all over. My goodness, what an ending.
Oh my goodness, Torillo. What a clutch drive by Ace Fennick and company on offense. Dave Axis, the story of the ball game, 2 touchdowns on the day, and the Lone Star Glory escape Fort Worth with a much-needed victory to push them to 3-4 on the season, and the Glory still have life here in Season 17.
The Toros fall to 2-5. One of the preseason favorites for the SFL title is now hanging on for their playoff lives. That's it. Highlights scrolling across your screen. Tyler Falk break this one down for us.
Again, the Fort Worth defense, at least was strong, very strong, holding the Glory to just over 200 yards through the air and under 100 on the ground. But it's the offense there, Torillo. The rushing attack by Jason Williams, Mr. Thrims, was extremely powerful and potent, over 100 on the day, but the passing attack just couldn't match Williams' production. A big-time interception there by Bogey Barr to take away any momentum for Fort Worth's offense early on in the half, and then the Glory just continued just pushing the ball down the field picking up points where they could, and it was 2 big touchdowns by Dave Axis that sealed the football game for the Glory.
Talking players of the game now, I think you got to give it to Dave Axis. He had the clutch plays down the stretch to give Lone Star the victory.
Absolutely, and indeed, what a game from the Glory's passing offense. And that drive started with 2 crazy passing plays and a big-time reception by Greg Soto on the sideline. He looked to be completely enveloped by the defensive coverage, but what a catch by Soto, and that catch just continued the momentum for the Glory, and what a day from the passing attack from Lone Star.
The player of the game is Dave Axis. 83 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10.4 yards per catch. He gets the player of the game today. So, as we sign off from a wild affair at the Stockyards Stadium, thank you to Justin Beside for doing stats for us. On analysis was Tyler Falk. I've been Michael Torillo. We will take a short break, but when we come back, it's bonus coverage of Los Angeles and Arizona from Hollywood.
Three, two, one.
To the end zone.
What an amazing effort by Jack Flash.
Absolutely. I mean, he broke that tackle. I can't see who that is. That was Everson Gamble, who could not come away with that tackle. We'd like to welcome in our new viewers on Next Level Sports. We've been at a defensive battle here between the Lycans of Los Angeles and the Scorpions from Arizona. LA just picks up their first touchdown of the game deep here in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left on the clock.
Now, this is interesting, Damon. Rob Epps is going to kick the extra point, which means Los Angeles is still going to be down 4, which means they won't have a chance to tie it with a field goal. Oh, no, they're going to fake it.
It's going to be a muff snap, and they're going to not be allowed to kick the field goal, the extra point attempt.
And that's unbelievable. I don't know why you would line up in a situation like that. You're down 5 points. The 2-point conversion would make it a 3-point margin, and when a field goal would tie. The extra point does absolutely nothing for you at that point. And now we're going to see an onside kick.
Here's Eames. That pass is going to be... Oh, man, that could have been dangerous. Looks like LA was going to come away with that one.
And that was Roscoe Justice, the backup wide receiver. It looked like he was going to return that onside kick and actually did get a couple of yards on it. But very curious sequence there from LA. Declining to go for the 2-point. And it's 3:44. You still have all 3 of your timeouts. Field position matters at this point. I would have liked to have seen the kick it down the field.
Here's Ashley Jackson underneath the center. She's going to give it a handoff here to Mosley. Moses almost picks up the first down. Oh, he does get the first down on that carry.
And they're going to give him forward progress. And I see him going back and forth about the extra point there in chat. You thought it was a muff snap. I thought it looked like a fake. In the SFL here, you're not beholden to kicking the extra point from the 10-yard line as you might be in some other leagues. And I'm not sure. We might have to wait until after the game to figure out what exactly happened on that play.
Here was Arizona at LA's 27. 17-12 is the score. They come out in a weak-eye Joker's pairs. Handoff here to the top of the field to DJ Moses, and Moses is going to lose a yard, tackled by a host of Lycans.
And now the clock is Arizona's friend at this point. You might think running here, not a great decision, but that clock is continuing to run. And that is just going to shorten the amount of time Los Angeles has in the event they get the ball back. No guarantee of that here.
I formation, power I. Here for Arizona. 2nd and 11. Defense is in a 4-3. Handoff here to DJ Moses, and nothing doing. The defense is playing heavy on the run.
Absolutely. And Arizona has no incentive to pass. We talked about Rochelle Colston and her 2 interceptions earlier. And Ashley Jackson, despite throwing some absolute dimes in the second half of this game, really has no incentive to throw it deep, especially here on this end of the field. You kick another field goal, it's an 8-point game.
Oh, there's a handoff here to Moses right up the middle of the field. It's going to be tackled by Stinson. Stinson has been in his face all game long.
And if Stinson doesn't make that tackle, that's at least another first down for Moses. And you basically forget about the game at this point. But that tackle from Stinson keeps them in the game.
Fourth and 7. Arizona's going to go for a field goal attempt here. And this is going to put them up by 8 if they convert the field goal. 2 minutes is on the clock. LA still has time to drive down the field, score a touchdown if they can, and attempt a 2-point conversion. That kick is almost blocked on the attempt from Allen.
And that's a big money kick from Cliff Allen. 40 yards, right down the pike. And Allen has missed a couple of field goals this season, but he has been absolutely money here this afternoon in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I was speaking with Eddie Gage earlier on the week, and he did inform me that, Allen has been missing some field goals and missed quite a few this week. I mean, this season, chip shots, as you would say.
But flawless this afternoon. A big game against another division leader. You want to show your playoff medal. You know the rest of the league is watching. And Cliff Allen knows that as well, and he has been outstanding, 2 for 2. And he has given his team the largest one-score lead you can muster.
4-3 is the defense. I formation twins. There's an out route, and the pass is tipped up by Gage. If Gage extended his arms, he comes away with that interception, and he probably could have got his first pick 6 of his long extended career.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was there too. The way that ball went straight up, and Gage had his head turned and looking for it. But tremendous awareness. I'm sure he is perfectly happy just getting that deflection and shutting down that pass. But oh my, that could have been something amazing.
Shotgun formation here now for Sully Richardson. Takes a 2-step drop, throws across the middle of the field, and passes deflected away by Sean Moore. Sean Moore has just been outstanding today. Such an active individual playing at that outside linebacker spot versus the run and drop back in coverage as well. I mean, that's how you play the game.
Yeah, and that's especially what you want to see from your linebackers, Damon, is Sean Moore has done a really nice job, especially just all the season. Had 63 tackles coming into the week. 6 of those for losses, TFLs. just a tremendous, tremendous addition to this offense in the defense in the offseason.
There's a dump off here to the halfback Johnson. That was probably the most productive play on this drive so far. 4th and 3. Josh, I'm pretty sure that LA has no choice but to go for it right here.
Oh, absolutely. This is your ball game right here. You need 3 yards. And they have a variety of ways that they could get that 3 yards, but you absolutely have to get it here, or it's good night, Irene.
Yeah. I was going to say they could punt it. They have all 3 timeouts. I'm pretty sure they would get the ball back with great extensive time available. But they're going to try to go for it here. Here's Richardson down the middle. What a reception by Flash. No, it's not Flash. It's Tommy Rahman.
Well, you can almost forgive Arizona for not covering the fullback fly route. And this is just unbelievable. Tommy Rahman, a rookie fullback, just running up there and pushing Bernard Smith the 4th down the field. You probably couldn't believe what he was seeing. And Rahman just makes a tremendous catch in stride to keep his team's hope alive.
I am shocked after what I just saw. Fullback coming away with that reception deep down the middle of the field. Looks like the play was 90Z quick outs. Twins here to the right of Richardson. Rahman and Johnson in the backfield with the quarterback. They stay in the block. There's a pass completed. Picks up the 1st down. Flash on that reception.
8 in the box there for Arizona, Damon, and Flash still somehow got loose, coming up with a big catch.
His 8th reception on the day. There's a post route down the middle of the field. That pass is completed.
Flash again.
He's been putting the receiving core on the back and helping Sully Richardson out all game.
Clock continues to run, but it's 1st and goal at this point. Clock almost doesn't matter here. Sully Richardson and the Lycans have 4 plays to get a tie. They need a touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
Is this the same Jackie Flash that plays in the AT&T commercial? Jackie Flash. Hand off here to Johnson up the middle of the field. Hurdles over an individual. Picks up 3 yards on that run.
Arizona defense is going to tighten up. They know if they stop him here, they win the game.
Strong guy Jokers. Hand off here to Johnson towards the top. He's going to be stopped and lose a yard. Oh, there is another time out there by LA. I think that was a great one to call.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, reset your offense. Think about what personnel you got on the field. You have 2 plays. You need 6 yards. And then you need 2 yards after that, presuming you find the end zone. Now Arizona.
Josh, I have no say in this game, and my leg won't stop shaking.
This Arizona defense, they've been on the field so long today. The fatigue algorithm might factor in here.
A squads. There's an out route towards the bottom of the field. It is. Did he catch that? What?
They're saying that's a catch.
Davius
That's unbelievable.
Reed probably comes away with the best reception of the week.
Through the hands of 2 Scorpion defenders, and then Davius Reed, there at the 1-yard line, somehow came up with it. It was probably on his back before it actually was a catch. And now Richardson needs 1 yard for a touchdown.
I thought that pass was either going to be picked off or it was going to hit the ground. Richardson underneath the center. You know it's going to Johnson. Here's a 2-step drop. Throws it out to Tommy Rahman. Wide open as he crosses Hollywood Boulevard. What a touchdown reception from Sully Richardson.
Once again, nobody covering Tommy Rahman. Out there in the right flat all by himself. And Sully Richardson, like you said, everybody thought Robert Johnson was getting the ball. But no, Tommy Rahman's there all by himself on dandelion patrol. And then gets the ball and just walks it in.
But here's the question. Can LA cross the goal line to tie it up at 20?
And here's the question, Devon. Who gets it here?
2-point attempt. Twins to the left of Sully Richards. Looks like he's changing the play. And it's going to be a pass to Johnson. And Johnson is hit right at the goal line. He does cross the goal line, and he does pick up the 2-point conversion. Oh, my friend, looks like we've just maybe heading into OT, but there's 31 seconds left on the clock.
And Johnson makes a little stutter step, like right there. And Eddie Gage, just a half yard too late, coming to make that tackle. Robert Johnson coming through for his team once again. Over 150 all-purpose yards by our count on the afternoon. And as you said, there might be a few more on the docket to come.
Let's not forget, Arizona has all 3 timeouts in the back pocket. This one is going to be right at the goal line. And PJ Punk gets it out to the 26. 27 seconds. Only 4 seconds came off the clock from that kick return.
Yeah, 27 seconds. You have all 3 of your timeouts, like you said, Demond. I would like to see them take one shot at a big play. And if you can get down the field and burn a timeout and maybe wiggle your way into field goal range, do it. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it here on first down.
3 wide receiver set. 2-step drop here by Jackson. Throws cross middle of the field. That pass is deflected away.
And it's worth noting an interception like that would put the Lycans right back into field goal range and give Rob Ebbs a chance to win the game at the end of regulation.
Jack Hacksaw on the PD. 4 seconds came off the clock. Arizona, 2nd and 10.
3 wideouts for the Scorps. Let's see what they do here.
PJ Punk to the bottom. Donnie Hands in the slot. Big game change is up top. He runs a quick out, and he's going to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Excellent route there by Hands by getting out of bounds to stop the clock there. But it's going to be 3rd and 1. They're still on Arizona's side of the field with 19 seconds left.
And Jackson got rid of that ball a little sooner than I thought you would. Both of the backs stayed in to block, Moses and the fullback as well. I thought we would see Jackson take a shot down the field. But as you said, a nice gain here by Hands, and maybe a chance to extend the drive here a little bit and get a first down.
Wide receivers on the field, nobody covering the slot, and there's Donnie Hands there. Is Arizona going to call a timeout? And yes, they do.
Now they're at midfield, 15 seconds left. That's a great use of the timeout. And we'll take another look at this catch. Donnie Hands really had to stretch to get this ball, and Jackson put it right in the window. And the feet of Donnie Hands not quite there. However, the hands of Donnie Hands right on time.
With 15 seconds left on the clock, do you play to get yourself in field goal range, or you go for the big score for a touchdown?
I would try and get one more chunk of yardage and give Cliff Allen a chance to win this game. And if not, then you can go to overtime.
High spread is the offense. 2-step drop here by Jackson. Got a reception. Oh, and then there's going to be a penalty on top of that as well. Looks like Hacksaw come in with a late hit on TJ Punk.
I hope that's not what it is. But yeah, we're seeing the personal foul call. And I thought TJ Punk made a tremendous effort to get down and get that ball before it hit the ground. We'll see the replay here. It's on Thomas Rahman Jr. And there's the catch. And that is a terrible call. That guy's just 15 yards for the act of playing football. He actually does make contact a little late because he's obstructed by his own guy. But that is a garbage call. And that's going to change the outcome of this game, because now, instead of kicking from the 36-yard line, they're going to get a free 15 yards. And now they're going to kick the field goal for what's going to be a 37-yarder. Much more within the range of Cliff Allen. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, but let's not also forget that Cliff Allen has been having issues with kicking field goals inside of the 40-yard range all season long.
That is true.
So I'm pretty sure the heartbeats of Arizona fans, coaches, and players is beating right now.
To be fair, Allen has been perfect on the day, and both of his kicks were longer than this.
This one here is a 37-yard attempt. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it's good. Right down the middle. Arizona win this one right before the time runs out here in the fourth quarter. 23-20. Scorpions move ahead in the standings for that number 1 spot in the West.
Yeah, they're going to keep that West Division lead. Congratulations to the Arizona Scorpions. And to the Lycans as well. What an amazing game we just saw, Demond. Last-minute drive. Ashley Jackson taking her team down the field. And Cliff Allen, ice in his veins, getting it done. A buzzer-beating field goal for the Arizona Scorpions.
Ashley Jackson put up 311 yards. Sully Richardson, 286. Look at the time of possession. We spoke on it all game long. 24-19. But as you stated, who wanted it more? Looks like both teams did with that last drive from LA, Josh, that they put together to come away with the score on the drive and also the 2-point conversion. As we all thought that the touchdown was going to go straight to Robert Johnson, but it went to Tommy Rahman instead. And man, you got to give kudos to Arizona's offense, not skipping a beat on this final drive here. They got themselves down the field, put themselves in excellent position, despite the penalty. Who knows what the outcome would have been, you know? But that's just what R62 decided to call, and that's that. And just a heartbreaker here for LA, because they did put together such a great drive coming towards the end. Josh, you take it now.
Yeah, and LA has played some tremendous football, no question about it, and they were certainly tremendous in this game, one that was super close that could have gone either way. But I think Ashley Jackson really made the difference, especially in the second half, threw with reckless abandon and tremendous accuracy, and the way that she put the ball into the hands of her receivers ultimately made the difference. Over 300 yards. James Hands, by our count, finished with 90 yards and the touchdown. Every one of her receivers had at least 2 receptions. DJ Moses did just enough, 19 attempts for 75 yards and 10 catches to boot. But the way this Arizona offense came to life in the second half, after throwing 2 interceptions in the first half, mind you, that to me made the difference in the game.
You're absolutely right. I was just going to say that as well, that after those two interceptions, Ashley Jackson basically went on a tear. Start putting up big numbers. There's a look at her, and she's the player of the game. Hey, everyone. I'm Damon Simeon, alongside my partner Josh Zirkle, and we're going to send this off to the post-game show and update to SFL headquarters with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green. See you when we see you, everyone. Peace. Josh, tell them goodbye.
Goodbye. You said say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where to begin, Mike. Apologies for those technical difficulties there on the transition, but I don't know where to begin. Show me better football today anywhere. 23-20, that is a victory. What a ball game for both Arizona and for where would you like to start, Mike? Or for Lone Star, I should say.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Cam, where do you start and where could you find, more competitive, better football in such a compressed time frame as we just did in the past couple hours here, in SFL. Both games ending in 23-20 scores. Both games could have easily have gone to overtime. Well, let's just start with where we just ended. In Arizona, man, Cliff Allen coming through with the huge game winner at the end of that game, coming off of a controversial, 15-yard late hit call on LA. Was it late hit? I mean, it was close. I would have probably, said that it wasn't. I'm pretty sure everyone in LA, are arguing that it was not. But Cliff Allen, 3 field goals on the day, including a huge game winner. And I have to start with with this Arizona defense. Really, they held this Los Angeles Lakers team in check pretty much this entire game up until the last quarter when they finally got Jack Flash rolling. He had a big touchdown there late in the fourth quarter. And then, and talking about controversy, LA had a. I don't know if it was.
They faked the extra point to get the 2. What was that?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a botched snap. I don't know if they were intentionally trying to do a fake field goal 2-point conversion. But luckily they were fortunate enough to get Cliff Allen did have he had his second field goal on the following drive, and they came back and with a huge drive of their own, touchdown pass to Tommy Rahman there late in the fourth. They converted the 2-point conversion, and it looked like we were headed to overtime. And then, as we mentioned, Cliff Allen came through at the end with a big victory there. And we've seen some amazing stuff today that we really have not seen.
How about Davius Reed catches it on
Yeah.
a tip at the goal line, and they didn't mark him in. And just think of the scramble drill to figure out what you're supposed to do. Call a timeout or, rush the 2-point team on the field. And there was just a lot of chaos in those moments. And for Los Angeles, I mean, LA was up 6-0 almost at the half. Arizona had done nothing, and Arizona does just enough. At the end of the day, the botch snap, as you said, on the extra point ended up not costing LA, but why even bring them out anyway? You're down 5. That whole fourth quarter was just full of shenanigans. And then back in our main game between Fort Worth and Lone Star, full of shenanigans there as well. Taco Sicario off the pole. I can't remember the last time a game ended on a missed field goal off the upright. Lone Star continues to be Fort Worth's kryptonite, and the Toros are spiraling after many predicted them to not only make the playoffs, but potentially win the whole thing.
Yeah, Cam, this was really an interesting game. Fort Worth, for all intent and purposes, controlled a lot of this game. They controlled the first quarter. They didn't cash in a lot. As far as with touchdowns, they went up 3-0 early in the first, and had a couple of long drives that Jason Williams punched in a touchdown to go up 10-0 midway through the second quarter, and then Lone Star came back. Tied it right before the half. Well, right before the half, they did tie it up, and Jason Williams happened to have a long touchdown run to put Fort Worth back ahead in this ball game right before half. But the entire game, it never really seemed like Lone Star was doing enough to win the game. But they let them hang around. Jason Williams had a huge game, 151 yards and a couple of touchdowns. But Cam Curtis again. With a kind of a so-so game, 139 yards, no touchdown passes. And as I mentioned in the pregame, he has the fewest passing yards in the league. And I think at the end of the day, it's kind of hurting Fort Worth that they're not getting much of a balanced attack, and then it's making them one-dimensional. And they pretty much let Lone Star hang in this game. And a couple of Taco Sicario missed field goals, pretty much cost them in the end.
That's the breaks around the SFL. We had 3 road teams today win by field goals or lack thereof. One game went to overtime. 2 other games maybe should have gone to overtime. You talk about that controversial late hit penalty in L.A. It was just crazy. And if you like that football, well, join us tomorrow on FTF, because you're not going to want to miss this block. Houston at Mexico City, the 2 leaders in the South Division. And then the big one, Louisiana and London. Louisiana 2-4, London 3-3. 2 teams trying to get to the playoffs, but it's Johnny Pickler and Reggie Streeter facing their former teams. Pickler facing Louisiana, Streeter facing London. Of course, Streeter set the all-time single-game rushing record when he was in London. This game is going to be full of blood, and it's just going to be a great day of football again tomorrow, so you won't want to miss it.
Yeah, Cam, yours truly, I'm definitely looking forward to that London and Louisiana game for more reasons than one, outside of the rivalry reasons and the bad blood between, the franchise with, some of the players and things like that. And yours truly will be participating in that game. And I'm looking forward to it. It's a huge game for London, as far as, our playoff hopes and staying above 500. And I know Louisiana, they're going to be coming out all guns blazing in hopes of keeping their playoff hopes alive without having to come out of a deep hole. So, man, I'll be looking forward to that game tomorrow.
It's going to be great. For all of us at the Simulation Football League, this has been Sim Football Post Game presented by APM Music, and all day long, we thank all of our broadcasters, all of our statisticians, all of our players, our coaches, our fans out there. What a great day of football. Your finals, Arizona beats LA 23-20. And Lone Star beats Fort Worth 23-20. For the Simulation Football League, I'm Cameron Irvine. He's Mike St. Green. Good night.